Put a little bit right here so it's not, ooh, it's so pigmented. I already regret it. I regret this. I regret this. Hi guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video. We are doing another Clean Beauty Code 5. We are ranking my top 5 favorite cream blushes. My top 5 favorite clean cream blushes. And I'm so freaking excited. There's so many good blushes out there. I have like a million that I'm obsessed with. These are just kind of, when you really sit down and think about which ones I'm grabbing, but also which ones formula last long, which ones I really enjoy color palette wise, like all of that is like reasoning behind the ranking, because I feel like a lot of the time when people have like a favorite cream blush, or a blush in general, a lot of it has to do with formula, of course, but also like getting the right shade. So I kind of went with options that I feel like the shade options are really good as well. So like I always have an option winter, spring, summer, or fall, you know? I'm really excited to get into this, swatch, play, talk it through with you guys. So let's jump into this video. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. And also let me know which ranking video you want next. I got blush, and I got like blush by like creams, and then blush by like powders, and then total, which will be really fun. So that's definitely going to come. But what else do you want to see? Let me know down below. And without further ado, let's get into this top 5 cream blushes video. Okay, you guys, top 5 cream blushes. Let's get into it. My top 5 clean beauty cream blushes. Whoa, that's too many words. Let's get into it. So we have, of course, some ones that are going to be tied for the bottom kind of thing like I normally do. There's so many cream blushes out there that I absolutely adore. So I'm going to do my best to, like, if there's like a, oh, but there's also this one as an alternative if you love kind of thing, just because there's so many options. Also, this is just cream blushes, so I'm not going to be mentioning any liquid blushes. I feel like I'm going to get a question about a specific liquid blush. That's not going to be in this video just because this is exclusively for creams. Okay, now that I went through that whole spiel, let's get into it. We're going bottom to top, and we're going with the ones that are tied for the bottom. Now, the Persona Cosmetics cream blushes. I have all 4 of their shades, including their newest shade. And let me just swatch these for you guys so you can kind of see. So this is the shade Kiss. It's a red shade. It's really pretty. These are oh, this one, so pigmented, so pigmented. I have a whole video where I tried them on. Okay, I'm gonna do Bubble next. Bubble is like this really pretty pink shade. I've been testing other stuff on the back of my hand, so if my hand looks red, that's why. The shade Bubble, so pretty. I feel like there's so many people that would look absolutely gorgeous with this shade. Obsessed. Then my personal, wait, let me make sure I'm doing this in the right order. Then my personal favorite right now, Obsession, it's just so good, is this shade here, which is Teddy. And I feel like Teddy doesn't look like much at all, but it really is just gorgeous. It is so freaking good, so pigmented, and it's a really good just flush, but it isn't too much. So if you're going red lip, or you're going something that is very intense on the eyes, and you don't want something super bright on the cheeks or anything too intense, you want something subtle but still something, it's such a good shade. It's like my obsession. And then the shade Jam, which is their new one, and this one is really pretty. So just put this at the bottom here so you can see it's at the bottom. And on me, it actually comes up more as a magenta shade than it does like a purple, like a true purple, but it is just so freaking pretty. I'm a really big fan of these. So they're super creamy. They blend like a freaking dream. And they just are, the shades are really beautiful, and they will work for so many different complexions, but also Persona Cosmetics, like stick, even their stick bronzer, the formula is just so blendable, and it just melts into the skin, and you can get like the most natural, most beautiful flush. Some of these are really pigmented. So specifically this shade here, the shade, what is this, Kiss, is so pigmented. A touch, do just a touch, because it might be too much. Like, it's just so, I mean, look at that pigmentation. Sweetie, it's a little pigmented, so you just got to be careful, but they blend, and it's easy to kind of, if you feel like you made a mistake, fix the mistake. Okay, so then next, let's move on. Next that's tied with them, and actually another one, because I kind of put these in the same category, so I'm going to mention them simultaneously, but this one is definitely, I love this blush. The Rose Ink blushes specifically, I have 2 shades. I have the shade Foxglove, which is my obsession. It's so freaking good, especially like when it's like ski season, which I guess it kind of is ski season for a lot of people, but ski season, this is like my favorite blush to kind of just throw on my cheeks because it's not too much, but it still gives a little bit of something, but it isn't super pink, which I love. And then there's also this shade, which is Azalea, which is, it's just so pretty. I mean, let's swatch actually. Let's swatch. So we have Azalea, and then we have Foxglove. So these are really, really long lasting blushes, and the formula is a little bit more whipped. So so you have Azalea here, look at that pigmentation, and then you have Foxglove here, which is also pigmented, and they melt into the skin and they last so long. These formulas are really similar to the next blush I'm going to mention, which is kind of tied with that one in the sense of like these are kind of in the same vein for me, but I will be honest, I do grab the Rose Inc ones a little bit more than I do this next one. So this one here is again in the same vein as the Rose Inc one, which is why I'm mentioning it. It's the LYS Beauty blush, and this blush, I'm gonna swatch this for you in the back of my hands just so you can see, because the pigmentation is so intense. Look at that. This is the LYS Beauty blush, and this is in the shade Confident, and this is just so freaking pretty. Be careful with these blushes specifically because they are so pigment. I mean, look at that. Look at that pigmentation. Look at the pigmentation. They're just so pretty, but the shade Confident is just so pretty. Should I put a little bit on my cheeks? I feel like it matches the vibe. You know what? This is gonna be a mistake. This is gonna be a mistake. This is gonna be a mistake. A little bit right here, so it's not. Ooh, it's so pigmented. I already regret it. I regret this. I regret this. I regret this choice. Why am I the way that I am? Why am I the way that I am? Hold on while I blend this into the skin. Okay, that was a little intense. Still a little intense, but I really love that blush. It's just so beautiful. So good. So good. So long lasting. Have a dewy finish, but not super dewy where it's like too much. And it feels, because some blushes can be super blue, like dewy, where it's like too much depending on the day. Like these will work year round, sweaty or not sweaty, and they last on the cheeks really well. And the pigmentation, you guys, is freaking unmatched. Like I cannot say that enough. Okay, so number 4 blush, let's get into it. I'm obsessed with this one, the Tower 28 blushes. My daughter's so loud right now. I'm obsessed with these. So this is the shade Magic Hour. I'm obsessed with them. Is it Magic Hour? Yeah, Magic Hour. It's so good. This like beautiful pink color. I wear that one all the freaking time. And then I have this one, which is Golden Hour, I believe. Golden Hour? Yeah, Golden Hour. And it's just beautiful. I mean, that orange pigmentation. Sweetie, she's cute. She's cute. So these are really good. They have a more dewy finish, obviously, as you can see. They do kind of set up, but they do, you know, it isn't like super set up. It just doesn't like I don't know how to explain it. It just lasts all day. They're really good, but it isn't one that like sets up, if that makes sense. It is like a beautiful blush, like it's just so good. It gives you like that perfect like blush where like, you know, in the morning when you like wake up and you just have like that perfect, like you walk outside, like get ready for the day, you walk outside, you have your coffee, and you just like smell the fresh air or something like that, and then it just puts like the best like blushy, like you just get like the nicest smile on your cheeks, feel like you just like look really healthy and dewy because you've been in the sun and all of that. This is like the best blush for that. It's just the most gorgeous blush. I'm obsessed with the formula. So good. And again, like super long lasting, really nice. Okay, next, number 3. I feel like these are just not talked about enough. I've talked about them a lot, but I feel like they're not talked about enough. The Jason Wu Beauty Hot Fluffs are amazing. So I have 2 shades. I actually have 3, but I don't know where the third one is, but I have 2 shades here. This one is Cannoli, and this one I believe is like Nutmeg Spice or something like this. I'm obsessed with this one. Yeah, Nutmeg Spice. It's so good. So these have more of a matte finish. And these are 3-in-1 products, which is also really nice. So if you like a monochromatic look, eyes, lips, cheeks, you can do that with these. I prefer these just for the cheeks, just because that's what I like to use them for, but I've used them on my eyes and I've used them on my lips and they're great, but these are great. So again, these are more of a matte finish, as you can see, but what's nice about these is like they're matte, but they're not flat matte. They let the dew underneath kind of pop through, but it isn't so much that it's super dewy, which I'm obsessed with. And they also last so long because they are more matte, and the way that they blend, let me just show you. I'll blend one of these out on the back of my hand. My hand is going to be just a nightmare after this. Just blends out so easily. It's just so, so good. And the formula is so, so thin. Now, not saying the other formulas are thick, but this is so thin in comparison. It's wild. So like there isn't that like cream look where sometimes you put cream blush on your cheeks and you feel like it looks like creamy, or not creamy, but you feel like it looks maybe sometimes that you have it and you kind of have to really blend it out. This one, that doesn't happen at all. Also, the pigmentation is wild, as you can see. The way I like to apply these is I put them on the back of my hand, and then I take a brush, whatever brush, dip in and apply it to my cheeks that way, and I'm just like so happy with how these wear. They last all day. I was on a trip with my mom in Austin, Texas, and I was like exclusively wearing this shade specifically. What is this again? Nutmeg Spice. Do you ever like have a shade name in your mind for something that's wrong? I have that with this all the time. Nutmeg Spice. I was wearing this exclusively. I was like putting it on the back of my hand, putting it on my cheeks, and like we would be going all day, like exploring. It was warm still, and this like didn't budge. It was so freaking good. I'm obsessed with this. Like this formula is amazing. So now let's move on to number 2. I feel like this is going to surprise some people. Actually, no. I feel like no one's going to be surprised by this if you watch this channel. This one. So this is the Ilia Multi-Stick. Now, I love the Ilia Multi-Sticks. I've recommended the Ilia Multi-Sticks to a bunch of people. My sister actually got one of these, not this shade, but another one, and she like loves it. It's so freaking good. I'm obsessed with these. So I have the shade Ladybird in this, and this is just the most gorge. These are really nice. They have dewiness to them, but they're dewy, but they are not overly dewy, but they give you such a nice cheek that looks really, really youthful and young. And the formula is super, super thin. I love, like my preference is always a thinner formula. So the ones I mentioned, the Persona has like a thin formula, but the Rose Inc, the Tower 28, and the LYS Beauty, they still have the thinner formula. I mean, it's not like so thick. It's not like looking crazy or anything, but they have a thicker formula. I love the thinness of this formula because it's just so easy to use. These ones specifically are dummy proof. This one less so because it's more pigmented, but this one is like the pigmentation is perfect. You can build it up. It lasts really long. It looks really pretty, but it doesn't last as long as the other blushes. I would say that the Persona Cosmetics and the Ilia ones last the least in terms of longevity, but they still last really, they look beautiful and they last me really well throughout the day. So gorgeous. And again, a little bit more of a dewy finish. The shade range is amazing. So many freaking options for so many different complexions, and it's just, I'm upset. I've used this a million times in videos, so I'm sure no one's surprised. I love this blush. It's just really, really good. So then next, I feel like this one, if you watch this channel and you're surprised, I'm surprised that you're surprised because I'm freaking obsessed with these blushes. They're just outrageously expensive, okay? Number 1. The Victoria Beckham Beauty blushes. Okay, I know. So this is an insanely expensive blush. I believe it's $42, which is bananas. Bananas. Absolutely insane. Like, girl, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Why are you here? Why? I know. It's crazy expensive. However, this formula is amazing. So this kind of combines what I like about all the other blushes. So the shade range is one of those that's, okay, back of my hand looks crazy, so I'm going to do it here. This is the shade Playground, by the way. It just is so freaking good. So like it isn't super, super dewy, but it's not matte. It has more dew than, let's say, the Jason Wu Beauty, but it has way less dew than all the other ones that I've mentioned today. It is just so good. The longevity is there. It is a thin formula. It is one of those that isn't so dewy that it has like, sometimes when stuff's dewy, it has almost like a stickiness to it, and not a bad stickiness by any means, but something that is a little bit more tacky. This doesn't really have that, and this kind of just melts into the skin. Like, I don't know why this formula is so good, because normally if something's like outrageously expensive, there's always another alternative in terms of formula. I haven't found one that is quite on the same page as the Victoria Beckham Beauty blushes. It is just so good. I'm going to get another one of these, not necessarily the shade, but like I'm getting another one of these because I'm like enamored, obsessed. I use these all the time. Like I use it all the freaking time. If you want another alternative to this shade in the shade Playground, the shade Teddy in the Persona is a decent, like, it's like a decent dupe. So you can see here, it's like decent. So it's a little bit different in terms of formula, obviously. The Victoria Beckham is definitely long lasting, the most long lasting out of the two, but like pretty sure this is like $22 or $26 and this is $42. So like, and neat. So if you're looking for a shade similar, this is really good. I actually did a side-by-side in my expensive versus more affordable makeup video where I did half my face and tried to get it to match, and you literally couldn't tell the difference. It was actually really impressive, but I digress on that. This is a really, really good, again, it's just everything that I want in a blush. I just want it to be cheaper, but you know what? Sometimes the things that you love are expensive and you just have to bite the bullet and do it, or you have to not and get over it and just move on and not buy it again. But I'm obsessed with this, really, really good. And yeah, that is it for my top 5 cream blushes video. I would love to know what your top blushes are. Let me know down below, especially if they're creams, and why you love them. I would love to know why you guys love things. Let me know down below. A lot of the time when it comes to blushes, it's like a shade or like you finally found your shade and formula combo. So I would love to know. Let me know down below. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.